All right. Okay, so let's try it anyway. So go ahead and click on the top link there, right? So we just need to find, so this is COVID-19 vaccine doses, who's got at least one shot so far, and a bunch of countries are shown. And you can see the difference. Like at the bottom, you have Indonesia. Note that that's a lot of poor folk in that country. But if you go up to United Arab Emirates, a richer country, right? In Portugal, Spain, United Kingdom. So generally, poorer countries would have a lower vaccination rate and richer more. So that's the first thing to note. Now we're going to first start off by looking at the US and the world. So yeah, you've hovered over the US. That's good. Oh, now, so if you go back, because I want everyone to see it. Go back to where you are. Yeah, okay. How did you get to there? Oh, did you click on
the United States?
Did you click on the country itself?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, click on the country itself. Lovely. Okay, yeah, so that's what you can do. Click on the country itself and just go to unselect all. See that? Unselect all. There you go. Yeah, this is not, and then go down and just highlight the world and United States. So go all the way down. Good. Yeah, so there's world there. Good. Yeah, and also world. Good. And now hit X on the top right. Good. Okay, so we're back to where we were. So this isn't necessary, everybody watched from home, but it'd be nice to just get the US and the world on just together, just to make it a little clearer. Now, the first thing we're going to note is look at the graph of the US. It is not a perfectly straight line, right? It went up quickly, and then there was a bend where the rates slowed down, okay? And they're probably going to keep continuing slowing down. So it looks like it's going at a straight line in recent times, but the vaccination rate's probably going to decrease a bit as we go. But just for fun, let's go ahead and assume that the rate in the last month is just going to keep going for a while, and let's see how long it'll take us to get to 80%, because a lot of people cite 80% as the kind of the goal for like herd immunity, right? Even though herd immunity and COVID-19 are not, the science isn't fully there yet. So we'll go back up to the graph, and I just want you to hover at the very end of the United States graph to see where we at right now. Okay, and can you click on it? Just go over left of it. It should show you numbers. Click on the graph itself. Click on the graph. There you go. There you go. Okay, so I want you to go all the way to the right and find where we're at right now and what date it is. All the way to the right. Yeah. All the way. Okay, so it's about, okay, that's good. September 25th. That's fine. September 25th. The world is at 63.4. Well, everybody write that down. So that's what we're going to do. So the US is at, September 25th, 63.3, and the world is at 44.4, right? And now just go back about a month on the US, and we'll focus on that. Go back about a month. So August 25th or so. Right. So the US is about 60.2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's about August 25th. And the world is a different problem, because let's see. The problem with the world is there's that dip there where China was added, right? And it doesn't make any sense to include that dip. So just go from the little part that recent straight streak for the world. So just go there, right there. Around August, okay, back a bit, just to August kind of 26th or so, right? You get, yeah, August 26th, the world is at 38.8, right? So roughly in the last month, the world has gone from 38.8 to 44.4. The US has gone from 60.2 to 63.3, right? So we'll just take a note of that. So this is US and this is world. Take a note of that, and we're going to form two linear equations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. So everybody, let's write this down. And wait, I gotta pause because I gotta fix my lighting here. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so we got it. This is the data we've collected. In the last month, the U.S.'s vaccination rate's gone from here to here, and the world's has gone from here to here, right? So how much has it increased by in the last month? Well, we just need to subtract, right? So the growth rate, the monthly, this is actually a monthly growth rate is what this is, okay? So we'll just subtract this minus this, and that gives us 3.1%. So in the last month, it has increased by 3.1%, right? Now, if I subtract this minus this, 44.4 minus 38.8, we get 5.6%. So the world has increased by 5.6%. So just for fun, we're going to find a linear equation, let's say, for the US, and then a linear equation for the world, right? So we kind of think of it this way. So we've got so we got months, and we got vaccination rate. And we've got the US here. And well, I guess we'll call months X. And the US is going to be now is month 0. And then in 1 month's time, we'll predict that we'll add on another 3.1%, right? But the US is beginning at 63.3, isn't it? And if I add 3.1, I get to, 6.4 and so on. And after 2 months, I add on another one of these and I get to 69.5. And so this is increasing by the same amount, 3.1% each time. It's a linear function, right? So press pause on the video, anybody watching from home, and I want you to write an equation, a linear equation for the vaccination rate in the US. So press pause and write a linear equation for that. Remember that from your algebra, all linear equations are like y equals mx plus b. You might remember that y equals mx plus b. B is the starting point. It's the y-intercept. It's at when we start at 0. That's what the b is. And m is just the growth rate, the increase each time, right? So the formula for this is just y equals, 3.1x, and then the starting point was 63.3, because that's where we began, right? Today, because we're projecting into the future, right? Make sense? So test that for 3 months. It should be 3.1 times 3, right? Plus 63.3, and see if that makes any sense. Right, so it's about 72.6. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And in fact, we just want to know, well, when's it going to get to 80%? Well, we're at 63.3 now, so if you do this, 80 minus 63.3 is 80 minus 63.3 is 16.7. So we have 16.7% of the population left to get a shot before we get to our 80% threshold. And then we go 16.7, and it's a rate of 3.1% per month if we keep going the way we are. So divide that by 3.1. So 16.7 over 3.1 is just around 5.4. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like the US will take about 5.4 months from now to get to the 80% rate. And this is the end of September, so October, November, December, January, February. So end of February and then a little bit more. So that's going into March. So approximately March 2022 is when we'll get about 80% with one shot in the US. Make sense? So now, see if you can all press pause and figure it out for the world. And remember with the world right now, we're starting, and this date, by the way, is we're starting at September 25th, 2021. So this, you might have a different date, and that's fine. But this is the date we're using. We're starting at 44.4 right now. And the world is increasing by 5.6 each time. So after 1 month, if it keeps going the way it is, we'll be at 50%. And then after 2 months, another 5.6, that'll be 55.6 and so on, right? So what is a formula, a linear formula for the vaccination rate for the world? So press pause, everybody, and try that yourself. So each month we're increasing by 5. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, so each month we're increasing by 5.6%. So it's 5.6 for each month times X plus our starting point 44.4, right? And just to test that out, what happens in 3 months' time? In 3 months' time, we go 5.6 times 3 plus 44.4. Let's make sure our formula works here. And let's see. 5.6 times 3 plus 44.4, and we got 61.2. That looks about right, doesn't it? That's another 5.6 more than 55.6. Because look, 55.6 plus 5.6 is 61.2, right? So that is the correct formula for the world, right? Linear equation though, right? Okay. So how long before we get to 80%? Well, that's not really that hard because you just go 80 minus where we're at right now in the world, 44.4, and get 35.6. So we got 35.6% of the world's population yet to get one shot in order to get to 80%. So you take your 35.6 and we're increasing at a rate of 5.6% per month. So that divided by that gives about 6.3 or 6.4 months. Make sense? Okay with that? So what that means is, we're doing this video at the end of September 2021. 6.4 months from now, that's going to be end of September, end of October, end of November, end of December, end of January, end of February, end of March. So the end of March is 6 months, and a little bit more. That gets us into April, right? So approximately April 2022. Right? But of course, who knows if that rate will continue, if that rate could increase, in which case we'll get there sooner, or it could decrease, in which case it'll take longer. Or we may never get there. Maybe there's folks that are just inaccessible, or will never have, some parts of the world may not have enough money for it, or who knows what, right? But that's all we're saying is if things keep going as they are, that's what will happen. It'll be April 2022 for the world, March for the US. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay, so here's the fun part, everybody. You're all going to pick your own country, and you're going to make a prediction for when that particular country gets to 80%. So let's go ahead and just for fun, we could do, go to add country, the top left there. All right. And hit unselect all. Hit unselect all. Perfect. And now choose a country. And you're all going to do a different one. All right. So Trish is going to do India here, and then hit that top X there to get out of the screen, right? There you go. Perfect. All right. So here's India's graph, and it's looking pretty straight the last while. So let's try to first figure out a monthly growth rate for the recent time, so we can do a bit of extrapolation, right? Okay, so we got 45.3% now. Write that down. And then if you go back a month, what you get? Oh, sorry, 45.3%. If you go back a month, you're at 33.6%. Good. And then we just use that to come up with our formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, so this is India for September 26, 2021. All right, so you guys will have different country, different data, but I'm just going to run over what it looks like. So these are the 2 points we found at this date today, or close to today. This is India's vaccination rate, and a month ago it was this. And so that's an increase of 11.7% over the past month. So if it keeps going at this rate, this is our linear equation, right? The starting point, and remember, it's just like y equals mx plus b, isn't it, right? Y equals m. This is the growth rate plus b, the starting point. So we're starting at 45.3. That's what we got today. If we keep going at a rate of 11.7, this is our formula, right? And we're going to graph that in a sec. We're going to graph this in a sec. But when do we get to 80%? Well, just go 80 subtract 40, where we're at today, to get how much we have left to do. We've got 34.7% left to do, right? Divide that by the growth rate. In this case, it's 11.7, and we get about 3 months. So India in about 3 months will have 80% vaccination rate. So that's end of September, end of October, end of November, end of December, So we'll just say about, end of December, I guess, or January, right? So end of December 21, or maybe January 2022. Now, I think it'll be later, because I think they won't keep that up. There could be folks that don't want to get the vaccine. There could be folks in rural areas. But this is just showing that if we keep going at this rate, this is what will happen, right? Cool. Okay, so go ahead and show the US, the world, and India. So add country at the top left there. Good. Unselect all, and now just click. You've done India, the US, and the world. And anyone watching from home, you guys are going to have your own country of choice, the US and the world. And we'll just have them all on one graph. Perfect. And that little X, perfect. Okay, so there we see, and you can see from the trend line how India's rate is increasing quickly. The US is increasing, but slower, right? The India's a lot faster, so it looks like they're going to catch up on us unless they take a dip towards the end, which they probably will. Because if you look at the US's curve back there, when we were back, we took a dip right around, or we slowed down right around 50% or so, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so it's interesting. But if they keep going the same rate, we'll just imagine everyone keeps going in a straight line. So go back to the discussion, and we're going to click on that link for Desmos. So I'm going to have you at the bottom, all the way to the bottom, display your results in a graph. So you're all going to click on that Desmos graph, and you're going to type in the formula for each. So we've got, for our world, we're going to type in y equals 5.6x plus 44.4. Y equals, not x equals. Right? 5.6, plus 44.4. Yeah. Lovely. And then on the next line, on row 2, the US was y equals 3.1x plus 63.3. And then the next line was India, which is y equals 11.7x plus 45.3. Right. Now, there's a little wrench on the top right there. That's what you got to find on this thing. Little wrench up there. Good. So you click on that wrench and your x-axis is probably fine. That's the months. The x is the months. Let's have the months go from about -2 to about 12. Or yeah, -2 to about 12. And it should be 0, but I want to actually show the y-axis. And the y-axis, I want that to go up to 100, so that the upper limit needs to be 100 there, because that's the vaccination rate, right?
You want to leave this one at
And just
6
click
months.
out it, just click on the right in the middle of the screen somewhere. Click here. Perfect. Now you've got your 3 graphs. The red is the world, the blue is the US, and the green is India. And now at the bottom, I want you to type in y equals 80. And now we can tell our story. So the purple is that 80% benchmark, which, you know, might be some form of herd immunity or maybe not, or the science is still unclear on it with COVID. But in any case, the green again was India. So let's no, go all in. No, you're going out in. Good. So where the green intersects purple, click on that. Click on the intersection between green and purple. Yeah. There. So that was India will reach 80% in about 3 months. And then go over to blue and click on blue. Click there. Perfect. And blue was the US will reach 80% in about 5 months, and the world in about 6 months, right? And that's the story, right? And there we have it. And if we wanted to do a 90% threshold, we would just type in 90 instead of 80. But now just take a screenshot. There's lots of ways of doing that. So right click, no, in the mid somewhere else, right click and take screenshot. Yeah. And save visible, top right, save visible. There you go. Right, and then download. Lovely. And then go back to the discussion and I hit reply. So the reply bar there, lovely. And now you're going to upload image. Oh, go back. You did that quickly. I want to show that. So go to where the upload image was. Okay, there. Everyone see where that image is? The picture. So you click on that and then click on upload image. Good. And downloads. Your downloads folder. Lovely. And that first one. Yeah, there. That's no, yeah, good. Open. Yeah. And hit submit. And then you tell the story of the graph at the bottom. And that's it. Right. And so your story is going to be, like we said, India will get there in 3 months, the US in about 5 months, and world in about 6 months. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Right. How cool is that?
Easy peasy.